His name is actually
in
Jack
my mind,
Russell.
I was like, that's a dog that got turned into a werewolf?
Valley Club Kyln Tower is coming back very, very soon. What do you need to get prepared for it right now? Boosted accounts, are they a thing of the past? A/B testing looking like it's done. And when will the open all orbs feature be returning to Marvel Strike Force? We're going to talk about all of these things and more in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. This week, I am joined by my brother Purple Sticky. And if you're ready for the purplest, stickiest of them all, Purple Sticky, let me know what to do.
Let's go smash it.
Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. This is Purple Sticky, and this is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. We do this every single week, keeping you updated on everything going on in Marvel Strike Force and everything coming up in Marvel Strike Force. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button for even more Marvel Strike Force content. But let's get right into it. Brother Purple, how are you doing, and how has your week been so far in Marvel Strike Force?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Thank you so much for asking. And yeah, MSF's been fun. I'm glad to be able to play Crucible again, dude. I didn't even bother streaming last week. I was like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do, man. All of my joy and excitement comes from CC with the rowdy people in chat and having a good time. So
I didn't know what to stream last week. It was short streams last week. I'm so glad it's back. As a content creator, Cosmic Crucible is the thing that I enjoy the most. So I'm glad that it's back. But you know what is coming next week? It is a mode that we have not seen in a while. Escape from Kyln Tower. This is the one that features 3-person teams, Purple. Escape from Kyln is opening its doors for another expecting mission in the near future. More info in next week's blog, which is they're talking about tomorrow's blog, which means I'm expecting Kyln Tower to return next week. What are your predictions on when this is returning? Do you think it's next week or the week after or sometime after that?
I mean, I would say that I think you're probably pretty close there with next week. That makes a lot of sense, right? Hear more information about it coming up tomorrow and then release next week makes a whole lot of sense to me. So I'd say that's a pretty safe bet.
All right. So one of the things that they said in this blog post, one of the cells will require the Undying trait, and it's since been crossed out this feature. So Undying, which is pretty good because they have an event going on right now for Zombie Juggernaut. I don't remember this event last year for Zombie Iron Man, but some people remember it. There were some shards available for purchase. I was under the impression that one of the cells would feature the Undying trait, meaning for me, that means that I need to use my Undying team to go in and beat those nodes. What did that mean to you? How did you interpret requiring the Undying?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I see require. I just assume I'm gonna need to bring in my own Undying, right? That seems pretty straightforward. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's throwing me off is, crossing out required and swapping it out with feature, but it's so feature to me is you're gonna fight against them, and why would you even?
That's what it means to me too. I'm gonna fight against them. So is there any reason to build up Undying right now, Purple?
Yeah, well, my only thing is why would you even tell us that you're gonna fight against Undying? It's not like you're fighting against Mephisto. It's Undying. You know what I mean? It's just that's another team in the game. But so it seems weird that they would even call it out. And then the only other thing that's throwing me off is if they're not required, then why would you start the first sentence of this little paragraph with "you'll want a top Undying team for the return"? What? So I don't.
Let's go back to the time of Kyln, right? So they call this is about Kyln when it was first introduced. Those restrictions, requirements, not self features. Now, if you guys want to start to prepare for this right now, this was the one. We had certain cells up to floor 19, featured certain traits, and then you started to need some gear for these characters. So 15, 16, 17, and the last few floors geared to 18. What do you think is gonna be some requirements here? Do you think we're still gonna have these gear requirements? Do you think we're gonna have some gear 19 characters on here? I mean, I have 0 gear 19 characters. Yeah. Do you think they're gonna make it a requirement, or is that way too soon?
I hope it's not a requirement. That's just that's posting a sign that says poor people need to get in. Or poor people need not apply. You know what I mean? That would be ridiculous. That would be totally deflating. Because to me, it's fun going up and see if you can challenge yourself on the higher tiers. Yeah. But to be able to get into it, you know what I mean? to gate somebody out by like, oh, you don't have gear 19, you can't even try. Like, that's so like anticlimactic. I'm like, okay, great, sounds good. I guess I just won't even give it a go. I hope they don't do that. I think it's way too soon for that.
I think it is as well. I think they will start to change some of these requirements. Any predictions as far as what some of these requirements will be? I know we got a featured Undying, but any other requirements here?
I wouldn't count out maybe them swapping out some of this for some of the newer teams. You know what I mean? Like maybe the top floor villain bio is pretty general, but it could be something, or the teams can be constructed in such a way that they strongly encourage you to use some of the newer meta teams, maybe Cabal or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? So that wouldn't surprise me at all. I would be kind of shocked if it's just a regurgitation of the exact same thing. Like, that would be
they have to fit Undying in somewhere, right? They got to fit Undying in somewhere.
Yeah. Undying, that's a big thing.
It's very weird because feature, I don't think they would call that out. I think it's required. I'm not sure why they would switch the wording to this.
I would strongly encourage everyone, though. You're never going to regret. Like, don't get me wrong. Undying's amazing. Invest in them, whatever. They're going to crush them for a long time.
Are you 18 you're Undying right now, Purple? Or do you think you would have required on one of these earlier floors here?
No. I think all of mine are gear tier 18. I think Hella might be 17 or something.
Oh,
but
you're already done. You're already done.
Yeah. I would strongly encourage everyone to not read into that too much. You're never going to regret just storing that stuff and just waiting to see how it plays out. You know what I mean? Like, just wait. You don't want to. Well, it says in the blog, everyone to gear tier 18 for Undying, and it's something totally different, or they're not required.
We'll find out about it tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow.
We'll know tomorrow.
More information what these requirements
just hold
are.
Tight.
So
hold tight.
These are our guesses until then. Now, don't do anything at least till tomorrow. All right, but as far as rewards, one of the major things was some diamonds for Gamut in the last one. Obviously, they're not going to do that. Who do you think is a featured character? Someone from one of the more recent raid teams, maybe one of the Spider Society, or they're going Hive Mind, or someone totally different, maybe like a Cabal member or something like that?
I kind of feel like I've actually held off. You know how like when they bring, now that we have diamonds, right? And they bring up and rework some of these older characters. A lot of the times they'll have events and stuff. I don't think they've done an event for like diamonds as a reward for Namor yet. Am I wrong? I don't believe they have.
I think there was a 1 diamond Namor with the costume. You get that, but not like 3 diamonds.
For like an offer. Well, then I definitely missed that. I was going to say Namor.
When you buy those costumes, costumes for the Mephisto, there was a diamond for Namor.
Yeah, I definitely didn't buy that, so I don't have that. I've actually held off on putting a diamond on Namor. I love Namor. I think he's amazing now. Yeah. I've actually held off because in my mind I was like, I bet I'm going to put a diamond on him, and then they're going to have some pop-up event where like it's really easy to get diamonds on Namor. But now I'm doubting myself because you're saying he was with the costume, so I have no idea. Maybe an extreme member or something. But I guess they're not farmable yet. The diamonds.
Maybe let's stop with the predictions. Who's your wish? Who is your wish list of the character that you wanted diamonds for?
Oh,
Namor,
wish list.
Leader, Iron Patriot, maybe. Actually, no, we're not even getting shards for
I'm
some
so
of these.
Far off.
I want an older character. I want an older character there.
Yeah, I'm so far off from them that it wouldn't make sense.
Someone old, a rework, Ghost Spider.
Yeah,
or Spider Noir, or something like that. Someone
Noir.
A rework character from one of the newer teams. All right, those are one of those is my predictions for this. All right. All right, moving forward with the event that's going on right now, the Slick Outbreak. This is where you can get some shards for Zombie Juggernaut. Also, you have to play some war battles for this. Now, this event, this is not an event that I like, because if you look at this, a challenge mode, only a few nodes here. So if you want to refresh this and get a lot of these orb fragments, not only do you need to refresh the energy, you also have to refresh these nodes. And as you can see, I've refreshed these nodes a few times early this morning. I don't like that. What do you think of this event as a whole? I mean, we are getting Zombie Juggernaut a lot sooner than Halloween. I didn't think we would get an event or some shards for him before Halloween. So this is actually ahead of my, when I wanted to get Zombie Juggernaut. What do you think of this event in totality and the design of the Zombie Juggernaut event, or the event campaign missions for Zombie Juggernaut?
I think it's fine, I guess. Like, I'm glad we're getting some Zombie Juggernaut shards. I didn't buy Zombie Juggernaut. I have a 3-star. I'm like hoping I might get a 4-star on Zombie Juggernaut. You know what I mean? So like, I guess I'm glad he's back. Yeah. But it's fine. To your point, though, dude, like the idea of spending 50 cores to refresh a node, to spend 50 cores on energy to farm the node, to be like disgusting. So I hate that. Like the fact that there's only 10 attempts for each of these. I personally, as a matter of principle, I'm not saying this is the right or wrong thing to do, but just as a matter of principle, I'm not doing the 50 cores to refresh the nodes for another 10 attempts. I'll drop a couple of cores so that I'm maxing out all, 5 nodes every day. Yeah. I'll drop like whatever that is, 150 cores maybe, so I'm not going over. But I can't bring myself to do it. It's such a crappy feeling. How hard would it have been for them to make them 20 attempts? You know what I mean? Like, it just seems so cheesy. I'm not doing it.
For me, I could spend 50 core refreshes energy, hundreds, even 200 energy. It feels so bad to refresh these nodes, though. I don't, and I think that's why I only have before this event, I only had a 3-star zombie Juggernaut, because I was like, I don't want to refresh nodes, but I'll refresh energy all day long, and it just feels weird. So I hope they don't do events like this moving forward. Like I said, just the way I spend it does make a difference to me for some reason.
It's like, it reminds me, this is a stupid analogy. It reminds me of like, you buy something on Amazon, you buy something that's super expensive, but you get free shipping and you're like fine with it. But like you go somewhere else and the shipping's $10. And you're just like, absolutely not.
Even if it's a little more cheap, the total cost, like, I pay for shipping.
Who the hell do they think they are charging me for shipping?
Makes no sense in your mind. It makes no sense logically, but in your mind, that's exactly how this event feels to me.
Yeah.
All right. Now, in addition to this event, you also got some shards here in the free and paid path for zombie Juggernaut shards in this. Which is good. Again, I was expecting this around Halloween, so getting this in April is cool, and it's in a battle pass. I don't think I got any shards in April last year for Zombie Iron Man, but the thing that disappointed me was this all the way at the end. Now, again, I look at my Zombie Iron Man. This is going to be more of a value in dark promos for me. It is better in that sense, but just because I don't get to choose, this also feels bad. So psychologically, even though it makes sense, I'm getting more dark promos and stuff, it doesn't feel good, because the other thing about this, Zombie Iron Man is not a character that you need a lot of dark promos on. You don't need a lot of red stars on him for him to be effective. Zombie Juggernaut's a little different than Zombie Iron Man, but I want my dark promo for Super Skrull. What do you think of this battle pass? Are you someone that normally buys these? And if you do, did this dissuade you from buying this, or because you're getting more net dark promos, even though it gets a selected character, is this a better value for you?
I am not someone who normally buys these. I think I might have pulled the trigger on the Black Knight one because he was so good.
It's Black Knight. It's Black Knight.
Yeah, because it's Black Knight. Like, I generally don't buy these because I'm just not a spender. But like Black Knight, I was like, whatever, I'll treat myself $20. Yeah. I'll give him $20 for the year or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just super cheap. But that being said, no, this certainly has not encouraged me to do anything with the Battle Pass or discouraged me. I wasn't going to get it either way. That being said, I am in total agreement with you. While yes, you're probably getting more, I didn't crunch the numbers myself, but I'm sure you get more value if you were going in on Zim than you would for just the, whatever they give you, 1,200 or whatever it is, DPCs this normally is. But that being said, I don't like the idea, to your point, of them taking away the option and the player agency to make your choice. And if we're being super realistic about this, if you did a tier list of who the best dark promotion credits or who's most worthy of dark promotion credits, Zim's like at the bottom, like among the least. Like I have a 7 red Zim. Okay, I know a lot of people don't have that. And you know what? His ultimate, he does his ultimate, and that can do some serious damage, and it's super cool. But like, I've experienced a 7 red Zim. I would never tell anyone, oh, you gotta spend those dark promotion credits on Zim. Yeah. You got to. No, like people want to use them on Scroll and APOC and Green Goblin and this and that. So no, it's kind of a bummer. I think most people probably would have preferred just dark promotion credits, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I would rather spend less dark promos on Super Scroll than have more on Iron Man. Other major thing is right now, let's say I did have some shards or some stars for Zombie Iron Man, they would get converted to Elite Fours, which have zero value in the game right now. That I think is where the big disconnect is right now. So these orbs that mean nothing in today's economy, because anything below that's below 5 red stars is nothing. When are they gonna fix this? I think that's the major issue with having Zombie Iron Man in the past, because if you already have a Zombie Iron Man 4 stars or above, those will be converted to this crappy stuff instead of some dark promo credits.
I think that is just one of the biggest oversights in the game right now. And I say oversight's actually not the right word, because that infers that like they haven't thought about this. They know this happens and they don't care, obviously, or they would do something about it. Like, but no, any percentage of DPCs that you would get for a duplicate for, let's say you had a 4 red Zombie Iron Man, even if it was like a 10th, is still better than getting Elite 4 credits. To your point,
they're worth
functionally
nothing.
useless. Yeah, they're functionally useless at this point in the game. Like, they don't do anything, really. I mean, we're just force-fed red stars because they've basically totally devalued red stars, more or less.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like what a bummer. Yeah.
Well, hopefully they've received enough complaints, and going forward they don't do stuff like this. Hopefully they have more dark promo credits and more stuff. We want more agency, Scopely, not you making the choices for us. I thought you learned your lesson with Apocalypse. That's why you went back to Mephisto and Super Skrull, but they took a step backwards a little bit. And I think the major problem is the conversion rate. All right, moving on to the month-long milestone for a leader. You're getting some pretty good leader shards here. You're getting an interesting frame that you get here. Decent ranking rewards as well. Nothing too bad, nothing too great. I mean, it's very similar to previous month-long milestone events. What do you think of the selection of leader as a character in this? Is this hurting you in Cosmic Crucible, having his release method be a month-long milestone event, or it makes no difference at all for you?
I think this is as far as month-long milestone releases go, I think this one's fine. You know, it's not like blowing my mind, but I'm not like sitting here complaining.
It's a normal one.
Yeah, it's fine. I actually, because I enjoy Cosmic Crucible so much, I dropped some cores on leader and got like 60 shards of them or something like that, you know, just by coring here and there as he was in the store. I
thought you were going to say you spent some money. I'm like, oh, did leader got it for, okay, all right.
No, I just cored. Just to unlock them a little bit sooner. So like that in combination with what I've gotten from the month long, like I have him he's like halfway to 4 stars right now for me. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Just because I wanted to unlock him and have him available a little bit earlier for CC, because I enjoy CC, so that's it.
That might be all you need, because he is based kind of around his kit, his passive. A lot of his moves is based on other people's powers, so 4 might be all you need for him.
Yeah, I'm already seeing some value, assuming I can keep him alive long enough. You know what I mean, to do their stuff. There's that, but no, he is very kit based. So it's fine. It's fine. I find the character releases for month-long milestone characters to be very boring, drip-fed. Like, I just want to play with I'm just like sitting there, like watching a little progress bar tick up slowly over the course of a month. Like, that's not super exciting for me. But I mean, listen, they obviously like this release method, so we got to deal with it. And as far as these go, this is fine. It's fine.
Well, looking at the bright side, at least this is a kit-based character, so even if you get it trickle along, at least if you get the unlock, you can get the benefit of a lot of leader. I'm glad it's leader and not some stat-based character that you need a lot of stats on, so that's the one positive about it being leader.
I will say this release method does get me to spend cores when they're a month long. I don't know if that's part of the psychology of it, but when they're a month-long character, I am more likely to spend cores on the orbs just because, like, I'm a little bit impatient or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just like, dude, I just want to unlock the character. Like, that's a fun part of the game, is unlocking a new character and getting to try them out. So I will tend to drop, unless they're just terrible or whatever. But assuming they're a decent character, I will tend to core a little bit just to cut down the amount of time that I have to wait for a month long. Maybe that's part of the strategy. It's working on me if it is.
I think it is. I don't think you're the only one that does that, though. You know, the people that want to spend less, they save their cores. They like which character I'm going to open these orbs for. Oh, it's a month long. I need this character. That's the one I'm going to do. So I think it is. I think that is a strategy that they use. But this month-long milestone did have some issues here. We were excited to bring the Nature Nurture month-long milestone to the web for milestone claiming convenience. Unfortunately, some people tried to hack this and we're trying to get some double rewards. I think some people actually did get some double rewards. There have been some issues with functionality.
This is why we can't have nice
kinks are worked out. You dirty cheaters! You got
this
the
is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, why'd you guys do this? You should have just left it. And all right. Anyway, we will let you know with this return to this convenience feature to the website. Meantime, make sure you claim your milestones in the game. Stop trying to game the system, guys. I mean, exactly what you said. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah. Oh well, it was nice. Well. It was nice while it lasted, I guess.
It was cool. Did you like that while I was there? Because sometimes I did claim it from the web. I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have to go in game because you get the stuff, you get the milestone points, right? And it doesn't even show up in game. So you just like, oh, I got another one on the web. I did like that.
Yeah, it's sure. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's like a cool little convenience thing. I guess it's fine,
but it's a little extra convenience. I did like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
More fan votes. All right. Werewolf by Night. 47%, Man Thing, 52% as the vote stands right now. Have you been getting all of your votes in, and who have you been voting for?
I have been doing my votes. Sometimes I forget, so shout out to the unsung heroes of Discord that randomly ping out. They're like, everyone remember to vote. So thank you guys for that, because otherwise I would occasionally forget and probably only do it like half the time. But yes, I have. Easy way to get 50 energy and 50 cores. Love those cores. I'll take it. I've been voting. I don't really know much about either of these guys. I've been voting for the werewolf dude because it seemed cool to have a werewolf in the game. But whatever. I don't know much about either of them. I feel like they're both super cool, and I'm kind of bummed out at the idea of like,
I want both.
Like, we're not going to get both of them? Like, I kind of like this cool monstrosity team that is sort of forming here. But
as you know, what was said is that these are the characters that is going to come first in the game. This is the characters that are going to be on the team. Doesn't necessarily mean that the losers never, ever come into the game. But if you want to know a little bit more about these characters, well, Man Thing, he is named Ted Salas. He was attacked by an AIM agent, trying to steal his secret, fleecing attackers, exposed to his serum. Ted stumbled in the swampy nexus of realities, his powers transforming him into a mindless force for good, the plant-based protector of the innocent, the macabre Man Thing. And as far as Werewolf by Night, well, he's a Jack Russell. He transformed under the moon into the Here Sweet Hero, Werewolf by Night. Since his transformation, his 18th birthday, Jack has worked tirelessly during the day to pursue supernatural cures for his condition. But while he's stuck with these powers, Jack using to fight off mystical menaces like Dracula, sorcerers like the Darkhold for evil. So does that change who you're voting for at all?
When you read that, the part about Werewolf by Night, I thought you started off by saying he's a Jack Russell. And in my mind, I hadn't read that.
His name is actually Jack Russell.
In my mind, I was like, that's a dog that got turned into a werewolf? And then you kept going. I was like, oh, okay.
That's his name. His name is Jack.
Well, that's less cool. That's less cool. But no, they're cool. They're cool characters, man. I think it's neat. And that's one of the things I love about MSF is like, I don't really know much about Man Thing or Werewolf by Night, but like, MSF introduces me to these characters, right? And there's a lot of characters in the game that I never really was exposed to or didn't really know about. I was gonna say that like have become like some of my favorite characters, at least in game. Like I think they're so cool. Swarm, hey, he's
Swarm,
bees or she's
favorite, but I never would have heard of him before Marvel Strike Force.
It's interesting, right? I'm like, oh, that's a character in the game, okay, or in the lore, right, in the canon. So no, I think these are cool characters, and I'm team Werewolf, but Man Thing seems cool too. So this is way more exciting to me than like the dentist and the janitors we were voting for.
The reporters. And
I'm sorry, I didn't care about that at all. If you are like. Whatever, different topic, but like this is way more. We got another
Karen in the game. We're getting another Karen in the game, and probably going to be team with Man Thing if the vote keeps going like this.
These guys are way more exciting to me, though. Like this, I think these guys are cool. Let's do it.
Karen, Man Thing, and this mentions Dracula here and the Darkhold. So Morgan Le Fay, Dracula, Karen, and Man Thing on the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Interesting. All right, one of the big things that we got notice of is the changes to the commander's journey. This is for new players, and one of the things that the community was wondering about is when is the A/B testing going to be done? Because some accounts had normal accounts, other accounts just randomly would get boosted, extra experience every time they got a level, extra campaign energy, a bunch of other stuff. Well, now it looks like it is over. So if you want to start a new account, if you want one of your friends to start a new account, I think all of the accounts are going to be boosted now. So what they say here, leveling changes. The improvements continue with faster leveling experience for all commanders up to level 95. This is in the form of commander level rewards, increased campaign energy. They start at level 1, and bonus experience starts at level 28. So all accounts are being boosted. It looks like the A/B testing was a success. Are you going to start a new account now for this? Were you waiting for this to start a new account to see how the experience is?
Absolutely not. No. Okay. No, dude. I play one account and MSF commands enough of my time as is. No, I'm super good, but I'm happy for people that are interested in making a new account and doing the thing. And I do feel like we do need more content for newer players. I know, people like Dorky Dad and Mobile are starting to do that. So, and other amazing early game new account players. I'm not just saying them, but no, I think that's great. But no, I'm good. I've played the game. I'm good. I'm not making another account.
Well, I was about to start a new account, but there was a meetup this weekend. Mobile Gamer, Juicy was there, Run7 was there, and the whole time during the meetup, Run7 was there starting up his new account. After the meetup, after 3 hours, he said, "That was horrible. Maybe you shouldn't be starting a new account." I was like, "Yeah, maybe I'll just let you start up a new account." So
I just knowing what we know now.
But what is that?
I was just saying, like, knowing what we know now and the experience we've had in the game, and like, I just feel like I feel like I would be trying to have fun, and it's just like,
you know
what I mean? I'm just like, I can't do the things I want
with Karnak. What is this?
Yeah, listen. It's just not for me, but that's super cool for people that want to do it, and I hope you have a blast. And
I want the knowledge of doing it. I don't want to actually do it. I want the knowledge
so
I can communicate and help people, but I don't want to actually.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
So leveling changes in their free characters. So additional free characters. Now, I'm not sure what they mean. They don't specifically say, but some characters gaining commander as you get to certain commander levels. Level 15 Hawkeye, level 17 Black Widow, 18 is Captain America, which is a reward for recruiting Iron Man, and 20 is Thor, and Hulk available as a 2-star unlock. But what they don't say, I think this is just unlocks, or do you think this is 7 stars for these characters for new players? What do you make of this free character starts for this?
I would imagine that's just unlocks.
Unlocks,
seems,
okay.
Yeah, I would imagine. It seems very weird to give a new character because they wouldn't use literally any other character in the game, right? If like between 15 and 20. They get 7-star Avengers team.
I didn't think of that. That makes sense.
You would never use any other character.
That makes sense.
What I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right. We also got some commander events. There's going to be some new events for players that join after April 4th. So some rewards here. Kingpin, Hela, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Cersei, Venom, Carnage, Anti-Venom, Agent Venom, Gwenom. Some pretty good characters. There's some useless characters as well, but there's some pretty good characters. Hela has some use. Scarlet Witch has some use if you don't have Apocalypse. Cersei is great. Venom, Carnage, and Gwenom are on the current Hive Mind team as well. Training modules, gear, basic premium orbs, all good stuff there. Any thoughts on some new stuff that players could get on this with these new events?
Yeah, no, I think that's cool. I think it frees them up to maybe farm other nodes and get other characters up. And I think one of the joys and the exciting things looking back to when I started the game, and the most fun thing was unlocking a new character when I didn't, whether they were good or not. Like, I didn't really even know at that point. I was like, oh, sick. Like, I'm going to use Scarlet Witch now.
You still get those dopamine hits, whether they're good or not. You don't know if they're good until later.
Yeah. So no, get people hooked on the game, get them excited about unlocking these new characters. I think this is great. Nothing game breaking. It's just a nice little boost and fun new toys for them to play with, and hopefully fall in love with the game and become an end game player eventually. Right? That's the goal, to build the community. So
yes. All right. brand new well, not brand new mode, but brand new season of, I guess it seems like it's brand new because we didn't have it last week, but Cosmic Crucible Season 7 is here now, is returning after a week break from some crashes and everything. What did you think of these new rules? What are some problems that you had on defense? What were some interesting counters that you didn't think would work and worked, or things that you thought would work and didn't work? What do you think of this season?
Yeah, I mean, I'm having a good time so far, right? I never know if that's the honeymoon period because it's something different, and you know what I mean? Like, but I am having fun.
First week's always a little weird, right? Because you don't know what to do.
You know, it's the Wild West right now, dude. Absolute Wild West. Like, I don't know what's going on half the time. I have to remind myself of the room rules. You know what I mean? I'm so ingrained in my mind, like, oh, I can't bring anyone that needs an ultimate ability in room 4. Like that, you know, you just have to retrain yourself mentally.
Yeah.
But no, so far it's fun. I think some of the room rules, like we always knew that like raid on Crucible was going to be, we've had that before. We know that can be a nightmare. Granted, the resistance and healing changes that a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
how bad is this? I mean, it was really, really bad a few seasons ago, right? Now that there's less resistance and healing, is this a little less painful, or is this still a tough room for you?
A little less painful, but you gotta, you gotta really pay attention to what you're doing and what teams counter. I'll tell you what, the first match on my baby account that I went in, I was just kind of messing around, didn't really know what I was doing. I went into an Extreme X-Men with like Hive Mind or something. I was like, surely we'll be okay here. I don't think I ever took a turn. You know what I mean? So like, you need to be very careful about the counters.
I was thinking it wouldn't work, and it did work.
And it did work. Yeah. So we're learning that stuff, right? So yeah, it's still a tough room though. You can easily underestimate that. For sure. But yeah, the room rules are none of them seem particularly overbearing, at least yet.
This one seems the most interesting. 4 seems the most interesting. You did mention this one. Is that the most interesting for you, or
I'll be honest,
one that's a little more interesting?
With you, 4 is kind of interesting, but we've had variations of 4. You know what I mean?
I think it's just fun.
It is fun. I like it too. Yeah.
Just blowing of doom.
Yeah. The problem with 4 is that like, if they have sus on offense, I don't know if there's anything you could put on 4 that like a sus isn't just going to come in and just turn 1 ultimate, assuming he has some sort of backup. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful about what you put in there because you're opening it up to a lot of stuff. But I actually think the most interesting room that I didn't really expect is room 1. Room 1.
The ISO 8 room. Every season is ISO 8 room.
Dude, room 1 is like, you really need to pay attention to turn order and what's going to happen. Like if I brought in a 2099, like a Tangled Web members into like an unlimited gambit yesterday, skirmisher on my 2099, I ability blocked the entire team. He didn't have Raider ISO on like key people. So like we just steamrolled him. I don't think anyone ever got to use an ability on the other team. I brought again on my baby account, I was just sort of messing around, playing, just trying stuff out. Into an NA Fury team, I brought in Kestrel, Pegasus, and wasn't paying attention to the fact that they had, I think it was Skirmisher on Coulson. Coulson gets the speed up from Fury, bolts, and my entire team is ability blocked. I was like, well, that's not good. Like,
well, you can make them all Raider. Nobody's getting ability blocked. It's like they put a regeneration on you.
Yeah. So this is interesting in that you need to be very aware of turn order, who's going to go first, what their ISOs are, how you're going to deal with that. So that's actually kind of, I don't know if it's the most fun room, but it's sort of the most interesting to me right now. Probably the most fun though. I gotta give it to 4. 4 going in there with just some ultimates off the bat with some heavy hitters.
Fun. This one's interesting. This one is chaos. Room 1 is chaos though.
Yeah,
I like it. This season's been pretty fun so far. All right, there was a dev call with General Manager Ryan Jacobson. Talked about a few different things. I was not able to attend. You weren't able to attend. I did listen to the playback call. So let me, and I know you said you didn't beforehand. So let me run through a few of these things he said. One of the things he talked about was more dev time to address issues. One of the things that one of the major shifts that he wanted is not pushing things out too early. One of the things that did get pushed out too early was to open all orbs, which is why it is gone right now. What he wants to shift is their philosophy of when things are ready, when things are stable, that's when they're going to push out. So no more hard deadlines is what he wants to remove from them. What effect do you think this is going to make on the game, which things are ready when they're ready? And one of the things he talked about was Battle World. That already has been delayed 4 months, which as a player, I want that here right now, but also as a player, I don't want it breaking the game and breaking other things. So I think long-term, that is a good thing. What do you think of this change in philosophy? What else do you think that's going to bring?
Yeah, I mean, what do I think? My thought is like about time we started paying attention and putting quality first and stability first and everything. Like, yeah, this is a premium game that demands a premium amount of your time, and for a lot of people, a premium amount of their money. Right. So, yeah, take the time and get things right. Like, I hope they don't rush stuff for the sake of getting it out the door and hitting some arbitrary deadline that they set for themselves. Like, I think the community deserves better than that. And I think all of us understand. We're all excited for new stuff for sure. But I think all of us understand that, like, nothing takes the wins out of the sales of this game more than just like bugs and glitches and issues and technical hiccups that it always kind of feels like, man, this could be avoided if someone just took a little bit more time to just check everything and make sure everything's good, maybe go through another layer of QA. So I'm glad it's happening, and it feels like about time. This game's too expensive and takes up too much time for them not to be really putting their best foot forward with that. And
it seems like it's like an industry standard, though, in the gaming industry to push things out on a deadline, whether they're rushed or not. So I hope this is like a trend that Marvel Strike Force starts. Like, all right, when things are ready, that's when it'll go out. Because one of the examples, like I said, he gave was these open orb button that caused some stability issues. And what they did say, I guess once it's stable, that's when it's going to come back. But the stability is like the most important thing for the game. Other thing that they talked about that was pushed out a little early was diamonds. And I guess some of that did get pushed out early because there was a lot of feedback that they're trying to implement and trying to get out. And then they got that out. Doesn't seem like it caused too many game-breaking bugs, but the open all button didn't cause a game-breaking bug until it did. So we'll see what happens.
Calling shenanigans on the diamonds, though. I'm not calling. What's our guy here? Ryan Jacobson? Is that who? I'm not calling Ryan Jacobson a liar.
Just pushed out early.
But what I'm saying is, I have a feeling that they released diamonds. I think when he says pushed out early, they didn't get all the feedback from the big spenders who wanted a massive boost and massive benefit.
Maybe that's why, because they did redo the stats and everything shortly afterwards. Yeah, because when I hear that,
that's what I think immediately. I bet they got feedback from the spenders. I don't know for sure, but they were like, listen, this is not a big enough boost for my money. I want to crush the non-spenders and feel totally dominant. I don't know. Conspiracy theory, maybe.
3 weeks later or something that they switched it and increased the amounts. I think they didn't do all their testing, all that stuff. I think that's what he was talking about with that.
Anyway,
He also talked about a URP graphics update coming, and what that's supposed to do is it's supposed to add more shine and polish to the game. He specifically mentioned Silver Surfer with a shine and polish, the shiny Silver Surfer, but also it's going to allow them to do some things on the back end, which is allow them to add more environments. He specifically mentioned Kyln Tower, Danger Room as far as some environments that they want to get into the game. How excited are you for a graphics update? I mean, I think we've had one during the lifespan of this game. I do remember there's a couple times that the sound got an update, and I remember at least once that the graphics got an update. How much better do you think the graphics can be on this game without disrupting some of the older devices that, people play on?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited because, I play on higher end phone, higher end tablet. I stream on my PC, stuff like that. So, like, I'm able to push those things. Yeah. I guess it just depends on how it's implemented, whether or not it's going to be a toggle. I know that or at least at some point, I guess they still do it. There was a toggle for like 60 FPS mode, right? where like if you're at a device capable of that, that would give you the option. And I thought that was wonderful.
I think that's the graphics thing that I'm remembering when they updated 60 frames per second. Like, oh, the game looks really, really good.
Yeah. But no, I think it's super exciting. Hopefully it doesn't oust too many people with older devices out. Maybe they can figure out a toggle thing. You know, we do have low graphics mode, so there's that. I do think the game can look really great at times, especially with the animations. It all kind of comes together when you look at it as a total package. I think the game can look great, but adding an extra level of polish to that, shine, as he said, I think is awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the finished product is. To me, though, I think I might actually be even more interested in the environments.
So the back end stuff that's gonna introduce.
Yeah. I mean, I actually think I might be more interested in that because, like, it really sets the tone for fights and stuff, and just the general feel of the game. I'm sure there's some people that just like they don't care what background or whatever, and I understand that, but I think it can really set. Like, imagine you're fighting and in the background. I don't know how cool they're gonna be, but in the background you see like sentinels battling or so. You know what I mean? Like.
Wait, a snake and a crane is not cool enough for you, Purple? Because I see those or a car chase sometimes. I see sometimes in the back of my battles.
Yeah, I feel like we've been looking at the same stuff for such a long time. I feel like it would breed. Help to breed some new life in.
New environments we've had in the game since the game launched, Purple?
Maybe just the Crucible one.
That's it. Yeah. Just the Crucible one. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm looking more forward to the back end stuff. The game environments was one example of stuff that they could do with that, but I'm curious to see what else they could introduce and how much it's going to streamline their process with this graphic update. Yeah, and of course, as a player, I'm looking forward to better graphics and like that, but I'm really looking forward to them adding stuff on the back end. That's where my excitement is as well. Other thing that was discussed was an internal Bible, an internal playbook that they want to give predictable timelines. We do have that for character shards. Since they introduced diamonds, we do kind of have a cadence of when characters are going to be released, when we're going to get that farmable, and when we're going to get the 7 stars. We don't have that for other things. Awaken abilities is one thing that was mentioned, Crimson Gear, other things. Now, I don't know if they're ever going to release that publicly, but they do want to get that on the back end so that we do have a structured timeline. And I guess even if they don't release that publicly, if they keep with that trend, well, we could figure out when these things are coming, when we should expect these things. How important is that to have that internal Bible that they have to follow, and they have timelines for when they're releasing Awaken abilities, Crimson Gear, and other things that players want in the game?
For them, I imagine that's very important. You know what I mean? To have some structure to stuff.
How important is that for you, though, as a player?
For
know
me,
that these things, we could predict when these things are coming to the game.
If
Not at all.
To me, like what's it's like what's the value in that unless they well, I'm just saying, like, to me it's like what's the value in that unless they like let us know, right? Unless they give us the information, like with diamonds and how fast characters should become farmable, at least some sort of structure that, like, yeah, we could crunch the numbers and do like an average, but like that only makes sense until it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like until something falls out of it, and then we're like, oh, then people are up in arms.
That would be them not following the playbook. But I think if they follow the playbook, we kind of get the what we have with the character shards right now, right? We know Extreme X-Men should be farmable like next week or the week after. It shouldn't be a secret at this point because of the timelines and what we've had with the past character shards. So these are Awaken abilities. I want to know when I could get some Green Goblin Awaken abilities.
Yeah.
Some of these costumes, I know a lot of people don't care about it because it's just cosmetic, but I want to be able to grind for costumes. Crimson Gear, I want to know when that is going to be more farmable as well. So I would like that. And even if it's not released publicly, we could kind of figure this stuff out. And that would help everybody in the community planning a little more. So I think that's a good thing.
I would like more predictability. And so like I think this is a good thing for sure. My only point is, like, if they're gonna have a window where these things can be released, just say what we're aiming for that window to be. Don't make us crunch the numbers and like have calendars and spreadsheets trying to guess it, I guess, is my only point.
They put that thing in the blog post, right? Everything's subject to change. I guess as long as those windows, right, give them enough leeway that they can do that.
I mean, listen, is anyone beating them up? I'm just saying, like, is anyone beating them up over when they were like, this is our goal to make characters farmable within this? I think we're all understanding, like, they're at least setting a benchmark. Yeah. And I don't know how many, maybe there are people out there that are like, well, you said, and this, you know what I mean?
This is the Marvel, this is a gaming community. Obviously, there's salty people everywhere.
I just feel like they could give us this is great for them internally, and it's nice to know that there's some structure in place. I do think it would be nice to, once those practices are established and those guidelines are established, to at least give us some idea of what that looks like, 100%. And not put all of the onus on the community to like crowdsource the information and try to like guess and calculate when that's stupid to me.
No, obviously that would be the best thing, but
I don't need it
for playing a game that had no timelines, and it's just like, all right, let's I don't know, maybe we'll fix these challenges. Maybe we'll make these flash events like really, really meaningful. I don't think they go back and look at these things. Just to have them go back and look at these things is a major change. But yeah, obviously I would like everything, right, to know all that stuff.
I hope they screw up more. Let's make more videos.
Yeah, one more compensation package. But let's talk about the stability, because they said that is the utmost priority for them. Obviously, with the 6th anniversary, how that was handled, it didn't seem like that. But what they have now is they have a team dedicated to performance issues. So they have a team looking at that. But one of the major things was when there was an issue in the past, it would go into a pipeline, go into queue, and it would get solved when it's solved. But now when there's like a major issue, it goes into a team, into a pod, and then they have to fix these issues. They need to find time in addition to their normal work to fix these issues. And I think that is a interesting thing. What do you think of that philosophy? Do you think that was followed before? Do you think this is something new? And do you think this is going to make some major changes as far as the stability of Marvel Strike Force?
I mean, I think ultimately, without knowing the process myself or being a developer or having any background, like anything that gets them to be more proactive about it and hopefully timely, and the fact that I guess internally this is going to be, it sounds like, assigned to certain teams, and I'm sure they're going to be held to that metric, and they're going to be expected to report on what the progress is. I think is a good thing, and hopefully it encourages them to solve some of these issues that have lingered for a long time. I mean, every time I go into a Crucible battle and I get hit with the placement bug because I forgot to change the filter back to all, I think to myself, how in God's name is it possible that this is still in the game? So I hope the first
like three seasons already, right?
Yeah, I hope the first technical team they put together for this is assigned the placement bug. So, but no, jokes aside, I think this is cool, and hopefully it results in a better, more stable experience, and anything to improve this game, I'm all for. So hopefully this is a process that works for them and yields some positive results.
So he did describe some of the challenges. Obviously, there's some challenges because all the back end stuff wasn't done in the previous year, so they have to do a lot of catch up for that. And described use an analogy of kind of building a foundation of a house while you're still living in the house and doing stuff, because they still have to push out content for players. They still have to be putting out stuff, but they also have to fix all the issues that they never got fixed in the past, and they're just trying to do that seamlessly, and that's causing them issues. So I hope they're done with all that very, very soon. We get a nice stable game. It's an updated game, not one back from 2018 is when this game started. So hopefully we get an updated structure and all that, and everything good that comes with it, and we get less and less crashes because they're doing things right from now. All right, that is it. Kind of a light week in Marvel Strike Force. We have a few different things going on. I am looking forward to Kyln Tower, and I'm looking forward to all these things that Ryan Jacobson said coming to the game. Looking forward to them coming to the game. What is your big takeaways from the week, Purple?
No, I mean, I think cautiously optimistic about the future of the game, and I hope for the best. It sounds like they're kind of sort of doubling down on improving stability and just making the game better. And I love this game, so I'm all for that, and I hope they're successful in that. And yeah, I'm excited for CC, and I'm glad that Kyln Towers whatever coming back. More content. I like playing the game, and I like playing exciting content, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, and I guess wait till tomorrow to start to build up your Undying if you haven't. Save all your resources. We'll see what the requirements are of that. Hopefully you got some value from this video. If you did, leave it a like. It is free for you, and it helps out the channel. Make sure you go over to prplestiky's channel, leave him a subscription, and check out a lot of his content. Awesome Crucible, a lot of other content as well. Thank you guys for watching. And if you want to see what to do to win in Arena right now, check out the video up there and I'll see you guys next time. Are you ready for a fist bump, Purple Sticky?
Absolutely. I was born ready.
Here we go. Hug fist bump, ValleyFlyin, Purple Sticky out. Have a great rest of your day, guys.